What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Uzziah. Welcome back to another video. I know it's been a couple of months since I last uploaded a video, but today I wanted to record because I have some very concerning and worrying news. Not necessarily news, and if you could probably already obviously tell by the title and the thumbnail that we are talking about Highguard. Now, Highguard is this new first-person multiplayer free-to-play shooter that was shown off during the 2025 Game Awards. Jeff Keighley made it a huge deal to show this game off last. He had it be the last big hurrah for the game event. And I would say for majority of the gaming community, they wasn't really sold on Highguard. Before the trailer was even shown off, the way Jeff Keighley talked about this game made it seem like it was the greatest thing he's ever played. Coming from a very respected dev team, Respawn, people that have made Titanfall, they've worked on the Call of Duty games back in the day. The same devs that bought you Apex, another huge free-to-play shooter, battle royale genre. So I think people had a lot of expectations for this to actually be something great. A new free-to-play first-person shooter IP coming from Respawn since Apex. But what was shown to us just seemed to be another run-of-the-mill first-person shooter. People wasn't really sold and turned off by the character designs. People said they looked too generic, they didn't really like the abilities, and just so on and so forth of different reasonings on why they did not think Highguard was going to be a good game. And unfortunately, off of piggybacking right off of what happened with Concord, you can kind of see why people are worried. Now, if I was to give my honest opinions about Highguard when they were first showing it off, I was kind of not super hyped, but I was curious to see a little bit more. Obviously, it was just a short trailer, about 3 minutes long or so, and all we just saw was there's horseback riding, destructible environments, obviously guns, abilities, and what seemed to be like a Trojan horse, a mechanical Trojan horse that basically looked like after they capture a certain zone. That's kind of where a lot of the MOBA aspect that people are getting a vibe from. But everybody's concerns about this game has boiled down to that the devs have not said anything, have not made any kind of status on social media, no promoting or nothing at all since they showed off this trailer back in December during the Game Awards. And as of the recording of this video, it is January 15th. The game comes out January 26th. So we literally have 10 to 11 days until this game drops. And now everybody feels like that this game is probably dead on arrival, similar to Concord. But the one thing I would give to the Concord devs is that they were promoting their game. They gave out 2 different betas for people to try, free and if you signed up. This game hasn't had any of that, and it was just shown off last month in December. And even though we should be excited about a new IP from a company like Respawn, and it comes out literally less than 2 months, this is something we should be excited for, but they have not said anything, and the game literally launches in less than 2 weeks. And there's been nothing but articles and posts on Twitter about, oh, this game is dead on arrival, the devs is silent, are they starting to backtrack, do they not have hope in their game? It's getting kind of crazy. As you can see on screen, one of the first things you see when you type in Highguard in Google search is Forbes article about where the devs are. Why are they not promoting this game? The article says the Highguard mystery, 2 weeks to launch in complete silence. And when you scroll down, it just goes on to say how the devs have not been saying anything. They have 6,200 followers on their Twitter account, and they haven't shown or said anything ever since they showed off the game during the Game Awards on December 11th, which was last month. It's It's kind of crazy. And just to show a bit of proof, this is the Highguard official Twitter page. It says Highguard launched in January 26, 2026. Literally 10 days, 11 days until the game drops. And when you scroll down, all they have is when they first showed off the game. That is it. That is all. And I am coming to see in the comments to see if anybody has said anything since. And my cat just jumped in the window. Doesn't look like people really said much since they released it. Yeah, nobody has actually commented in recent time about the game or where are the devs, why aren't they saying anything, etc. So all in all, it just draws very serious concerns on whether we are probably not going to get anything said about this game in the coming days of when it releases. Maybe within the first few days of right before it releases. But my theory is there's probably going to be 3 options on what is going on with Highguard. The first one being, I'm thinking the devs are starting to backtrack as far as the backlash that the game has gotten since its release, and now people are starting to make posts and articles about them not saying nothing or not promoting the game, not dropping a short little early access beta or anything like that. Number 2, they could actually be waiting to the final days of the game releasing, and then they'll just come out of nowhere with some big post, or maybe an early access or some kind of update on, oh, we've been polishing the game this entire time before it releases, so this is why we are not saying anything, we just been hard at work. And the third and final thing I believe that they will do is probably just drop the game and let it speak for itself, which is a double-edged sword, because if the game comes out and it actually turns out to be amazing, it turns out to be fun, it turns out to beat everybody's expectations and people's doubts about the game when they first showed off the trailer, then all the more better for the game's longevity. And maybe after that, the devs will start posting frequent updates, post and letting the community know about what's going on in the game with the roadmap. Or it can go the complete opposite way, where the game comes out, doesn't meet expectations, is not great, buggy, glitchy, cheaters potentially, and after that, then the devs are just backed into a corner, and now you've released a game where not only wasn't ready to come out within less than 2 months, but you guys were also silent the entire time leading up to the date. So now you're hit with the double whammy. But I don't know, it's looking a little suspicious. Ever since this game was shown off, my expectations were already kept to a minimum, because it didn't look as quote unquote interesting, and it was also releasing in a month and some change basically. So I was already kind of like, I'll keep my expectations a bit low. I will be playing it when it drops on the 26th. Hopefully it drops on the 26th, because there are people speculating that it might get delayed. But if it does get delayed, then hopefully they can come out with a better product. But for a new IP, I do want to see them succeed. I want the game to be fun. I want the game to be as balanced as possible. I want them to keep updating the game, making sure things are being adjusted, things are being added in. They're listening to the community. If there's any issues or problems or bugs, that they are sorted as quickly as possible. I think that will be all for today's rant. Like I said, people have been talking about this the last couple of days. I kind of just wanted to get my 2 cents on it, because I did plan on playing it when it dropped, and after seeing all these articles and stuff like that, it really made me think. I'm like, wow, they actually have not said anything since they shown off the game last month on the 11th in December. So yeah, hopefully the game turns out what people hoping that it doesn't turn out to be, another Concord flop. But if you did make it all the way to the end of this video, I appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching it entirely through. Let me know down in the comments, what do you guys think about Highguard? How did y'all feel about it when you first saw it when it was first revealed? Did you think it looked good? Did you think it looked bad? Did it look like something in the middle? Did it look like it had potential? Do you think it's gonna flop when it drops? And I will catch you guys in another video. Peace.